Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Cinnamon Stitches. I'm your yarn host Jennifer. I'm standing up today but just for a minute because I wanted to show you, because it's Monday makes. On Mondays I show you what I'm working with, what I made. So I designed this. This is not going to be a pattern, don't ask. I did not enjoy making this. It's cute, I love it. Now that it's finished, did not enjoy making this. I do not want to teach anyone else how to make this. However, this is, I don't know if it's a vest, I don't know what you want to call it, but it's got these extra flaps that come out this way. It's got lots of different pattern across the back. I worked it up kind of like a sampler, and yeah, so I made this vest. I made it out of, where did I put it? I know that I have it somewhere in this room. I made it out of, is it in here? Yes, it's in here. It's in my Hobie bag. Mandala tweed stripes. And this is the colorway Shooting Star. Now, in the cake, it kind of looks grays and reds, but it's totally red, white, and blue. We're gonna go down. I'm gonna bring our camera down. I'm gonna get really close. I'm gonna sit down. We're gonna talk. So, did not enjoy this yarn whatsoever. I really struggled. I struggled for a lot of reasons with this vest. I'm glad it's done. It's pretty. I thought this would hang down more like floppy, but it doesn't. So instead it gives it like a double-breasted open look, but it's comfortable. It looks cute with my little white t-shirt. So in the midst of cleaning the room, and I know I've talked about it a lot, but cleaning the room was a huge chunk of time. It was, see, I got myself all winded because I got overexcited, and it's really cold in here. It's really cold. Anyway, I need something on my arms. In the midst of working in here and cleaning this all out, making it all beautimous, I decided to start a project at that moment, which was stupid. So I had 3 cakes of these. This took 2.5 of these cakes to make this size 4X vest, whatever you want to call it. And I had 3 of them. I think I got these in the Lion Brand Santa sack at Christmas time. And while it looks gray and red in some lights, it's almost red, white, and blue, but like red, gray, and blue. So see how right here looks a little bit bluer? It's an unusual colorway. I liked the colorway a lot. I still do. I like the way it looks. I didn't like this yarn at all, and I had to switch hooks a couple times because I started off working with, and I don't know where I put it, a resin hook. I started off working with a resin hook, and the resin hook was not agreeing with this yarn at all. What is this? What is it? This is 100% acrylic. It was not, the two were not happy together, and so I got about I started at the bottom, I worked my way up. I got about this far from here to here, and I was like, I hate this, I cannot do this. And because I was already in an emotional state from cleaning the room, because like I have talked in the past, like when I was talking to you guys about the room, it was a very emotional thing for me, and I had some mental blocks that I needed to work through and get over. And so that was a real struggle to me. And I think because of the mental struggle that I was having in here, when I came out of here to try and crochet, and I was fighting the yarn and the hook combination that I picked, it was very hard for me to even work on this. I hated it. And I was like, okay, I have this fight inside of me that I am not going to let something else win over me. I'm not going to let yarn win over me. I'm not going to let another person win over me. And I'm not going to let anything defeat me. That's my personality. It always has been. And It's both what makes me a really good person and what makes me a bad person. Like it affects both sides of my personality. Cause I just can't quit. I'm not a quitter. I hang on to things way too long. You know, I fight for things for way too long and all that good stuff. And that's what I was doing with this. And I was like, okay, as I was struggling, I realized, because of the mental block that I was having, I wasn't realizing that I was fighting the yarn with the hook. I just hated the feel of the yarn. And actually, when I first started working with this, it was really weird because I have never had this strong of a reaction to yarn. But the sensory things that I have, I've talked to you guys in the past. I have skin conditions, but I also have sensory issues. I cannot, at this point in my life, touch like paper bags or I have a really hard time with cardboard boxes. I cannot and never have been able to lick a popsicle stick, and tongue depressors from the doctors, big no-no. I can't, they cannot go in my mouth. It's like a full system like rejection of these things, and I don't know why. It's just a sensory thing. Like my brain cannot process that sensory. When I started with this yarn, it was the same thing was happening, and it was like sensory overload. I was cringing to my bone when I touched it. I was like, what is going on? I've worked with mandala before. Mandala, however you say it. I didn't understand what was going on. So I lubed my hands up. I put so much lotion on. I tried again. Cringe. And I mean, even right now, thinking about it, I'm getting goosebumps. And that's one of the sensory reactions I have. I'll either get goosebumps or like, I can feel a sensation in my bones of just cringe. It is hard to explain unless you've felt it. My teeth start to hurt. It's really a strange thing. And I was like, oh my God, I can't, why is this yarn doing this? Why? What is wrong with this yarn? I didn't understand. And now I'm thinking I was just in mental overload. I don't really understand what was happening. I just think too much was happening in my brain that I was trying to deal with and process, and I just could not. I could not. And so I had to keep putting this down, and then I would try again, and I would put it down because I wanted this. This was in my head. The yarn wanted to be this, and it's talking to me. It's like, I need to be this vest, and it was in my head. The vision was in my head, and I just wanted it, and I wanted it to be pretty. So I kept finding the yarn. And then when I realized when the room actually was finished is when I was able to pick this up and not have that weird sensory thing. So I fully believe that my brain was just overloaded and could not process another thing. I think my body was like, no, you can't do this right now. You need to just one thing at a time. Just calm down. Simmer down now. Simmer down. And so I realized, I'm like, all right, let's switch hooks. I got rid of the resin hook, picked up an Odyssey hook, a metal hook, and then it started to go way smoother. There was no more of the weird textures hitting together. There was no more. I was crocheting really fast, and then I was like, okay, I can do this. I can do this. And then I started I started putting this part together to where I crocheted up this part. I was not working off a pattern. I was working out of just the idea in my head, and I messed up this part royally. I mean, this is way too shallow for my body. And so, good thing though, it's a good thing because I still had plenty of room to make the collar without it being too much. And it all worked out beautifully. So it was a beautiful mistake, and I'm really proud of it. I totally had something else to show you that oh, where is it? It's over there on my shelf. Just gotta model my cute little thing one more time. So, and then I should probably grab, I know, I'm all over the place today. You guys know that last week I did a review on this yarn. This is the Premier Basic Mosaic. I did this in Thursday's Premier Yarn of the Week, which I abbreviated to PYOW. P-Y-O-W, Premier Yarn of Week. So we featured the Premier Basic Mosaic. I decided to use this beautiful rainbow gorgeousness because this is the one that I thought I was going to have the most trouble working with because it is very busy. It's very busy. And even when I worked up the swatch, I was like, ooh, the stitches are lost. You can really see what's going on. The other two colors, the pink and the blue, if you want to see those, just look at the video. Like, the swatch was beautiful, and it just looked like a, it almost looked like it was a tonal from a distance, whereas this is like, I mean, it's rainbow. There's no getting around that this is rainbow, and yes, it's gorgeous, but it's very busy. So I was like, okay, the one way that I know that I can tone this down is to A, knit it, and B, mix it with another color. And I was gonna mix it with the purple, as you guys may have seen in the review video, because to me, purple stands out the most in this. But one of you were talking about, because it's called Prism, the colorway is Prism, and you were talking about how the yellow and the Prism really like stood out with the rainbow or something like that. And so I was like, yellow. It never occurred to me to use yellow. So as a matter of fact, these yellows right here are Premier Basics, and they're both the same color. I grabbed one of those yellows and mixed it in with this. Is that not gorgeous? And I have plenty left to play with. And I decided to knit a hat. Now, this is on Holly. The hat is really cute. I just did a 2x2 rib, and then I alternated the yellow with the rainbow, yellow, rainbow, yellow, rainbow, yellow, rainbow, and just knit stitches. And then I did 2 rows, I think, of color, 2 rows of yellow. And then I did a big section because I really wanted to see what the rainbow worked up in just straight knit. And I really, really love this hat. I think it is adorable. I love the rainbow mixed with another color. And I like the yellow because it's sunshine and rainbows all the way. And then I did a fancy row of yellows where I did like a zigzag almost. And it's really hard to see, but there is also yellow hearts up here above that. We're calling them little confettis up there. And you have to really be looking at the hat to see that they're there because they blend in so much with the very busy body pattern. So I wouldn't do anything fancy, but I love this section, and I love that we did pattern, yellow pattern. And then, because we wanted some sunshine in the top, I did the decrease bottom, or the final row of decreases in yellow. Let's see if we can get that to not be so bright. And I think it's a really pretty hat. I am really happy with it, and I'm really happy that I like this yarn. I really like this yarn. Every time I put yarn anywhere near my hook caddy, it gets stuck. So, totally had a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun making this hat. And I showed it on my Instagram, I think Friday. Thursday I made this hat. Today, the filming of this is actually Friday, because you guys know I pre-record all my videos. But, isn't that cute? Isn't that cute? It's a little bit snug on my head. It fits my head, but it's not going to fit my head with the ponytail, and I'm not pulling my hair down because it'll be a hot mess. Yeah, I really like that. So those are the 2 things that I have been able to complete this past week. Things are really, really kind of crazy around the house. It's, yeah, to say the least. It is ending the school year for all 3 of the kids, and I have to try to find a way to make a bedroom for my niece who's coming back to live with me again. Yeah, it's gonna be. There's a lot of things going on. Little man, he always keeps me on my toes. If you saw his video last week, Tuesday Tea with Little Man, you can see just how he keeps me on my toes because he is constantly that energetic. Although there are hours during the day when his medicine is in full effect, that he is just like calm and quiet. And if he's busy like playing video games or watching electronic videos on YouTube, which he loves watching, how to reprogram stuff or how to take apart electronics. This is his, I'm telling you, this is where he's going to grow up. He's going to have a job that is something in engineering or technological, something technological. He got to work with a robot at school. I don't remember what the name of the robot was, but he had me look it up on Amazon, and he got really excited, so I think I'm going to probably buy him a robot. It was only like $60. His birthday's this summer, so a little tiny programmable robot. You can program it to do what you want. I just think that would be a really good idea because he is interested in it, number one, but it's also very educational and it'll help him to grow in his possible future career. I mean, I'm not real big on pushing the future on my kids. Like, what they want to do, they can do. I support them no matter what they choose to do in life. But I think that's a good idea to really get him things that he is really interested in. And at least motivate him for something. Even if it goes nowhere. Like, he had something to do. Also, last week, I taught Mr. Cinnamon how to crochet. Now, if you watched that very weird video, that video was hard. I had to cut out so much of it because it took him, I think it easily took him over an hour to make this. However, I'm very proud that he did this. And I wasn't lying in that video when I said I'm going to keep this because it looks like a heart. It really does look like a heart. And honestly, I never thought he would ever crochet, ever. I've asked him several times. Look at that. Like, you got to pull it to make it look like a heart. I might block it, make it look even more heart-like. This started off where I crocheted 2 or 3 rows of, like, straight. It was straight. And then he started doing his crochet, and he skipped stitches, and it ended up turning out to look like a heart. So I'm going to keep this. I actually might sew it on top of the washcloth that I made. And that will hold it more in the heart shape. And I think that's going to be a cute little reminder of that experience that we had together. Because quite honestly, anybody that knows him knows that crochet is way outside of the realm of things that he finds interesting. It's just not. And when he suggested, because I told him, I was like, I don't have a Friday video. He's all, well, why don't you teach me how to crochet? This was like midweek, you know. And I was like, are you serious? He's all, yeah, you could record trying to teach me how to crochet. I was like, all right. I don't know how that's going to go because, he, like I said in the video, he's got huge, enormous hands. His ring finger, I think, is a size 14. He has massive hands. And I call them giant man hands, or I call them gorilla hands because his hands are huge. Before, when we were younger, we used to hold hands like this. And I can't do that anymore because he absolutely crushes my fingers because his hands are so big. So it's like a man trying to hold hands with a little kid. And I don't have small hands. Like, my ring finger's a 9. I have pretty big hands. But he feels like he's crushing my hands when we hold hands like that. So now I have to hold hands with him like this. But whatever, we're still holding hands, you know. But I wasn't sure. I was like, okay, I'm going to give him the biggest hook that I have, which is the Omi hooks, because they're like quite long. I figured he'd have an easier time holding on to that. And I think he did a really good job for his first time. And I really like that it turned out looking like a heart, because that tells me the love that he put into trying to do something. I mean, yeah, it would be super awesome if he learned to crochet and we could sit and crochet together and have things to talk about crochet related. But I don't think that's going to happen because I just don't think he's that interested in it. But he was, at the end of the video, he was really proud of himself. Like, you could see he was really proud of himself. He was like, I feel like I'm getting the hang of this. I was like, all right, like, cool. So maybe in the future I will talk him into actually making a bigger washcloth or something. Because that would be, like, really cool. Although I really don't want to share my stash with him. Because he would come in here and I just know he would pick a yarn that I want to use for a special project and he would use it and then I would be upset. And I do have my sister to talk crochet with, and I'm really glad that she crochets. I really like that, you know, we can talk crochet and, you know, her eyes not glaze over because she actually knows what I'm talking about. Because she just learned how to crochet, I think, during the pandemic, if I'm correct. I think that's when she learned to crochet, which is crazy because unlike a lot of us, she was not at home during the pandemic. She was working at a, I hate calling it an old people's home. It's not really a nursing home. It's a retirement community. So people pay like big bucks to stay in this place that she was working at. that she no longer works at. And she was really taking care of these people through the pandemic, through a huge, like, the pandemic, like, really took a toll on her job. She lost like 10 or I think maybe 12 patients by the end of it had died from COVID through all of that. And so like she was working out some stuff. Like that was hard for her to process and deal with. And the people there did not appreciate any of their workers. They really didn't. That's why she doesn't work there anymore. But for her to learn crochet through all of that and having a baby, I mean, baby Adora was, or baby girl was like maybe 1, and she learned to crochet through all of that. So I think that was pretty miraculous. But now that she's got the 2 babies, she tries to crochet, but she doesn't have a lot of time for it, and it's driving her nuts because she just wants to crochet. Yeah, so I'm proud of Mr. Cinnamon for trying. I really am. And I think that's really cute. But that's what I've been working on so far this week. I'm really, really proud of this hat. And I really like the fabric. Like, it worked out. I like the Premier Basics yarn anyway. And the Basics mosaic is just so pretty to me. But I really, really like this. I think I would do something else with this kind of design where it was like one, you know, where I alternated the yellow and the rainbow. Because it makes it just like look kind of cool. But when it's funny because I was showing, I think Juju last night. The rainbow, you totally and utterly lose the stitches because the rainbow is so overpowering. But you can see where the stitches are in the solid color very easily. But then when you get to the rainbow, it's like, oh, it's like an explosion. And then I was like, Juju. She's like, what, Mom? I was like, you know what Fruit Stripes gum is, right? And she's all, yeah. But see, I've never liked Fruit Stripes gum. It's not my favorite. But I remember when we were younger, baby Paprika loved Fruit Stripes gum. So I couldn't remember, was Fruit Stripes gum around when Juju was little? And I was like, come here, look. So she reaffirmed with me that she does know what Fruit Stripes gum is. And I was like, look at this yarn. What's that look like? She's all, yeah, that looks like Fruit Stripes gum. And so the whole time I was working with it, I was thinking of like a rainbow zebra and Fruit Stripes gum. I just think it's really cool yarn. I think it's really pretty. I really like it. And you guys know I love the rainbow. So, yeah. What do you guys think? And I know I'm going to get some of you that are like, please make that a tutorial. I'm not making this a tutorial. I did not enjoy making this. If you want to make something similar to this, the tulip cardigan that I made for Premiere Week, I took the idea from that. So I didn't look at the pattern at all. I kind of went off the idea. I didn't take the measurements, but you could use the measurement guide. So if you use the tulip, and this is you can do this with any pattern. You take the pattern and you look at it and you get an idea of the sizes, how many stitches you need to do for your size. For me, I think to recreate this in that style, I would do probably a 3X instead of a 4X or maybe a 2X and follow the measurements for the bottom part for that, because you need this part to be smaller than, you don't want it touching because you are adding all of this extra material. So see where it's right here. You want it smaller on you. And then I made the back smaller than it should be and the front smaller than it should be. And then you just gotta try it on, you know. And then what I did here is I just did straight back and forth crochet. I attached along the edge where the collar or the neckline would go, or where maybe if you were going to add buttons, like the edge of where I finished. And then I just did crochet back and forth. I did solid double crochets here. I did granny stitches back to solid double crochets. And it just comes straight out. They're just straight flaps. And that's how you get this neckline. So, you know, it's not incredibly difficult. You just have to use your imagination and, you know, go from there. Really, really simple. I would probably, yeah, I'm not going to make this again. While I like the design and I like the way it looks on me, I'm not interested in making another one. And I still have tutorials I need to start that I want to put on the channel. For instance, the shawl the Phoenix shawl that I made, the Here Comes the Sun style shawl. I want to make that a tutorial, and I'm really trying to do that. I'm having a hard time because I'm trying to decide what yarn I want to use. Do I want to make it all one color, or do I want to do it multiple colors, or like, you know, I'm still really arguing with myself over what I want it to look like. I kind of want to make it in all one color again, like the white one. But I need to find a yarn that I have enough of one color, which I don't have a lot of all one color. And then decide what color I want to use, because I can't use white because white blows out the camera too much. Can't use black because you can't really see what I'm doing if I use black. So I'm really debating on what I want to make this beautiful shawl look like. So yeah, I think I'm going to put Holly back up somewhere because I really like that hat. I think it's cute. Check out Premier Basics Mosaic. Do not check out Mandala Tweed Stripes if you have any kinds of sensory issues. Just don't do it. If you have no sensory issues, I mean, it worked out beautifully. It feels nice in the fabric. I just had a lot of issues working with it. And I'm not going to ever work with that again. As a matter of fact, I have some on my shelf that I'm probably going to donate. Because I just don't, I can't. I might send it to my sister. I don't know. I have some really pretty colors of it too. I have like rainbow and ladybug and all that. I did not, this is not fun for me at all. Hey, stop hitting me with your tail. Alright guys, that is it for today. And I hope you have a fantastic Monday morning or afternoon or whenever you're watching this. I hope you have a really good start to the week. The dogs realize that it's about 10 o'clock, so it's time for them to eat. And I think they're out of water because Miss Oreo always has a way to let me know when they're out of anything. And yeah, I will see you in the next one. Bye guys.